I'm Keystone, and this is Redbone. We launched this platform as a way of speaking to the people from a point of view that we feel may have been overlooked or just not heard. It seems to be a lot of interest in the city of Pakoima, a few miles north of Los Angeles. Our story is too complex for just one point of view, and we decided to give you a full insight into our hometown, Pakoima, California. We're going to get into our history, street culture, politics, sports legends, and music legends. From the sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet relationships between the blacks and the Pakoima Latinos, to the contentious interactions with the Foothill Division Police Department. Pakoima has a unique voice that distinguishes itself from the greater Los Angeles area. We've heard from everyone else, now it's time for the Pakoima. To do a different kind of show, chopping it up with some very important people in the neighborhood. We got, of course, we got Redbone, and then we got DT today. We got Leaford, Leaf Hackett, and then we got the Honorable, the Soul Sister, the lady with us today, Miss Vicky Johnson, once again. Very happy to have you with us, Vicky. So you coming
That's
in
right.
as
That's
the
right.
only lady in the house today, so you know she got to keep us in check.
That's
So,
right. Right.
um, so look, so
First, hey,
today, what's
first
up?
of all, I want to say thank you, Vicky, on our 818 our function that you and the brother Daryl gave. We had an outstanding time. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring that off the top. Y'all missed it. Whoever didn't go, we had a good time. Y'all know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
So you know what I'm saying?
it was a good time. It was a beautiful day. The sun was out, the grass was green, the sky was blue. Everything was going the way it was supposed to go. You know what I mean? And as it should go, you know. Let's get into it a little bit. Look, um, cause I'm you know like I always say, man, I speak culturally, so I don't want to point fingers and uh, make it like it's an individual problem that only happens in our neck of the woods, cause it goes on all the time. If you watch the news, you see it all the time, and then it's even so prevalent and happens so often that it's kind of even expected. It's expected to happen. And not only from us do we expect it, but other people like, that's them. There they go. That's how they function. And so for me, I feel like it's time to change that narrative. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being at work, the news come on, and something happened, and you everybody looking around because you know it's a party, a function. And the next thing you know, some little kids or something just got shot, and it's usually a black person. So it seemed like it's a cultural thing. So it's time, but why is it that do it seem like we are living up to that expectation on purpose? Like, is it because it seemed like it's expected, like somebody's gonna have to show out that day or do something that's like are we living up to an expectation, or is it really that serious? What y'all think? What y'all think? Give me something.
Large groups of people, you have too many people that don't supposed to be together at one place. All right. The fact of the matter is when you have a certain group of people that are in the area, or in a space, we usually pick the people that are in those spaces. But when you got different people from different generations, different walks of life, different places to where they currently are in life, what happens is you don't have no continuity. It's a high capacity, it's a high likelihood that this shit is gonna happen. The problem with our people is we always invite everybody. We always wind up being in these same spaces and having too many people involved. When I go to other things with other peoples and other different races, what I find is it's kind of they pull people in the space off of categorization, right? Our people is just like open invitation. In an open invitation, bro, everybody's showing up. Especially if it's free, everybody's showing up. When you set a dress code, you set a price, you set an age limit, all those things are things to stifle out people without telling them that they cannot come. It's just like real estate, bro. Yeah, you want to live in West Hills. Yeah, you want to live in Calabasas, but the prices say you can't live here. I don't care what you want. So when you have things like, and I wasn't there this weekend, I heard of some things. You have all these different people come into a space. You got alcohol involved. You have no security. It's a likelihood that something going to take place. The fact of the matter is, with all the people there, it kind of wasn't really that drastic. There was no casualties. Yeah, there was no casualties. So you got to compare that to stuff that's happening in other parts of the country and other places, even in Los Angeles. There were no casualties. There was no ambulance. It's certain things like that, and it's unfortunate. But this shit is human beings, man. So the only way you can control that is not to invite certain people, not to invite a certain demographic of people. Have it in a place more isolated. Don't have it in the area where people feel most familiar. Take it to another part of the valley. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong.
I so now I'm uh, what you're saying. I feel is making my point. It's kind of you're like it. It's the expectation. We gonna hit that expectation. This is what's expected coming from us as a people, though, because in my experience with other cultures, and again, I got bused to the West Valley my whole school career. So from first grade on, I was always in the West Valley. So I went to school West Valley, lived in Pakoima, and I done been to house parties at huge mansions where people covered the whole yard, and police had to break it up and all that, but nobody pulled out no gun or nothing.
It's a different culture though, bro. You ain't got nobody
So it is
ODing over here.
cultural. So it is
Everybody have
cultural.
everybody got a different custom. So what I'm trying to say is, are we saying that our ignorance is worse than their ignorance, or vice versa? With any demographic of people, you always gonna have a level of chaos. But I get what you're saying in regards to why this shit's still happening and why is it happening in our little small community. I don't understand that. To people who are they call each other family 9 months out the year to go to a place where all family is, and what is this going on? I don't know, man.
And 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 look, and I just want to make the point, man. White people are they got guns. White people got guns.
A lot of
They,
them,
they they got guns, like way more guns than I think we got in the hood. Like you might
way
have
more.
one. I know a dude that got like a shed full, like a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? So is why is every time why is every situation it goes to the point of killing somebody, or it goes to the point of I gotta pull out my gun? Why can't any debate or issue be resolved with two men agreeing to disagree or whatever it is? Why is it all the time it goes to let me flash this thing? And like you said, the guys that are drunk and high, they probably that don't really mix with the gun. So you know, we got a bunch of fast decisions, brash decisions being made, and you know, it's either somebody end up dead or somebody end up going to jail for the rest of their life. So it's like, and we know this. We know this from the '90s. Like we all lived it. We all lived it. You know what I mean? I know. I remember it seemed like every house party you went to got shot up in the '90s, in the early '90s.
So who was shooting them up?
It was.
We know, no, that's not true,
Us
and that's the
versus
problem.
us.
No, this is what it is. It was not us shooting each other up. Okay, this is the fact of the matter. The reason we gonna continue to get vague outcomes is because we won't identify and specify who the problems are for whatever reasons. I'll leave it at that. We know who's shooting people up. It ain't no regular black dudes. It ain't none of that. It's a small demographic. The reality of it is, you know, if you got pain in your body and you go to the doctor, your body, every part of your body is part of your body, right? But you're going to identify what part of your body got the pain so we could go ahead and get rid of the pain, right or wrong.
True.
Right.
So we have to be able to identify these things. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I feel you. I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
Stone. Teach.
Okay.
It makes you understand why people leave and don't come back. You know what I mean? And detach from certain spaces. You almost have to. You know what I mean? You almost have to because if I don't, I expose myself to whatever. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's the influential as far as overall. You know, and maybe in a certain uh block of a community here or there, but not collectively. Like, no. People always feed off. They like to watch train wrecks to a degree, right? When people stop and watch the cars crash, we the cars, we the cars that crash, unfortunately.
All
Go
right.
ahead,
So
Stone.
what I wanted to bring up is I wanted to look at it because I like to try to look at things from the eyes of others and how this plays out politically. So, and I want to get y'all's feedback on this. Uh, a lot of people felt like the when the election came, it was a big turnoff for a lot of people was, oh, Joe Biden helped write the '94 crime bill. Kamala Harris, she was a prosecutor. She locked up a bunch of blacks. Okay, so now we got a dude in office right now that ran on when every time he spoke to black people, his main selling point was, we need to rescue y'all. We need to we got to stop the crime, and you guys got too much crime in your neighborhoods, and I have to be, I'm the only one that can save you guys. And when you're looking at it, the '94 crime bill was asked for by blacks to save them from other blacks, from the other blacks in the community. So Trump has ran on saving blacks from other blacks in the community.
Well, they
So
cracking down. They cracking down. There's all
and
these
and and
Ricos and
and he's in D. He put the National Guard in D.C. right now. He's not playing.
it's in LA. They on Fig. They saying he cleaning up, you
So
know, hey. Mm-hmm.
when so are we not okay? So a lot of people got disturbed because the Asians got a bill to help them because, but it was other people attacking Asians. They didn't get anything to help them from Asians attacking Asians. they got help from other cultures attacking them. Why is it that we need help from outside our community to help us inside our community? Why can't we supervise ourselves or be able to conduct ourselves?
I like yeah, like what Leaf said. We have a neighborhood. I think. I we,
They
we've
said we
we've
don't have.
had we've
Came in.
had communities. We've had communities, but we don't operate like communities anymore. We operate in segments. You know what I mean? In fractions. So it's we have neighborhoods. You know, we don't. Let me ask you this: Do 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 we when you own something, you tend to treat it better, right?
Right.
Most people than when you renting something, all right? Or when you right? So it was a time where y'all know you walk into school, you know your neighbors, that's your boy. You didn't have to go outside your block to go have fun. You right outside. Your mom know the neighbor. Everybody look out for each other. Those were communities. Everybody went to Broadus, Fillmore back in the day. Everybody went to McClay or whatever school they went to, right? But that's when we had communities. You know, you only had the Trojans and the Bears, the parents in Domingo. You know what I mean? Those houses in
Right.
Pakoima, West Side, East Side, were owned by your grandmas or your aunties or your mom, your dads, whomever. That's no longer there. You know what I mean?
Well, how could there be a community? How could there be a community and there's no emphasis on family? If there's no emphasis on family and all you do is emphasize individuals, you can't have a common place or a camaraderie or understanding how we gonna move collectively. They cannot be a collective movement of individuals, right? I was looking at the Animal Channel one night, right? Can you hear me, Stone?
I hear you. I hear you. Yep.
Okay. So one night I'm looking at the Animal Channel, right? And I'm watching these horses run and I'm watching these zebras run. And we thinking that horses and zebras doing the same thing, but when the horses are running, they're running with structure and they're running with order. When the zebras are running, they look like they're running together, but they run as individuals in the same direction. That's what we are. That's why we don't have this collective way of addressing things. That's why we don't have the right gatekeeping. That's why we ain't got the right people in position in our quote unquote community because everybody thinking like individuals and individuals become competitors instead of teammates. That's just where we at. And that's the reality of it, bro. We are active participants in something that is rapidly declining. And the reason it's gonna rapidly decline is everybody get offended when you want to talk real shit. I know this in life. This is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. It says that a strong, integral man will feel disrespected when you lie to him, but a weak man will feel disrespected when you tell him the truth.
Mm.
That's where we are, bro.
Say that one more
That's where
time.
we are. The weak feel disrespected when you tell them the truth. The strong gonna feel bad when you tell them a lie. We have no
Mm.
code. We have no code, bro. We have no code. We have no regulation. We have no restraint. I shouldn't be having to apologize to you on shit on Monday when I could have restrained myself the day prior. We ran out of apologies, bro.